Hello Nigerians, you're welcome to the newspaper review here on TAF TV, where you get to see and hear the reactions of Nigerians regarding headlines that are making rounds on a newspaper. Ayo Kame is my name and I'm your host for today. Alright, quickly before you hit to the streets and see and hear the reactions of Nigerians, let's first look into the headlines and see what the headline has for us today. Now today be 18th of July 2024. First, we're considering the nations, and the bold headline here says, Tinubu kicks off payment of 32 billion naira to students as loans. Quite an interesting story here on the front page of the nation. Sub-story on the head reads, PDP governors seeks political solution to Rivers regime. Details of that is found on page 5. Yet an interesting story here on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. House OK, 1.9 trillion for NDDC. You can read that up on page 4. Imo Assembly recommends sack of CJ over age falsification. You can read that up on page 27 of the Nation newspaper. Now quickly, we're seeing a very interesting story here. It says, Kanu's health deteriorating, says lawyers. You can read that up on page 6. Neville Man, 17 others adopted. Details of that is found on page 27. Alright, moving on, we're considering the Punch. And the sub-story on that point here says on page 37, it says, Tinubu seeks extra 6 trillion naira as 2024 budget hit 34.9 trillion. You can read that up on page 37 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government gets over $751 million World Bank loan. Details of that is found on page 32. Not tops application list as federal government disburses student loan. Quite an interesting story here on page 16. Senate sacks Ndume as chief whip over anti-Tinubu comment. You can read that up on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. Now the bold headline here says, IOCS still accusing crude supply crisis. Dangote refinery cries out. You can read that up on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. PDP governors seeks federal government to fast-track minimum wage. You can read that up on page 16 of the Punch newspaper, because the minimum wage talk has actually prolonged for quite long. Now the PDP governors are actually saying that the federal government should fast-track the talk based on the minimum wage. Defection. Court hears suit against Pro-Wike lawmakers come August 21st. Details of that is found on page 12. 3 arrested over motorcyclist death in Delta. You can read that up on page 4. Alright, lastly for today on the Punch, it says on page 22, it says, Edopo Shebula loses suit seeking Inhombolo's disqualification. You can read that up, like I earlier said, on page 22 of the Punch newspaper. Alright, now that's all we have for you regarding the headlines that are making rounds this very day. Now let's hit to the streets and hear the reactions of Nigerians regarding these headlines. Do well to stay tuned. Alright, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's good to have you back here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Alright, now quickly I would like your thoughts on the nation that says PDP governors seek political solution to Rivers regime. You know, of late we have been having a lot of, just like Nigerians will say, back and forth in the political realm of this dearest state. What's your take?
Yeah, I want to, first of all, thank you for bringing up this platform where a common man like us can air their view.
Obviously.
Do you understand? In Rivers State, it's unfortunate that we have one state, two House of Assembly leaders, speakers. It is only in Rivers State that such a thing is happening. It's happening now. You understand? Where they give counter directives. The other one we said go. Why don't say don't go? So who do we follow? The governor now is not stable. Do you understand? But the truth is that the federal government ought to have said something before now. Long before now, have said something. Said that no, this is the right procedure.
There is rule of law in the
nation. The rule of law in the nation, whereby the openly group of people defected from the current party without
legally their seat is vacant.
Yes, their seat is vacant by the Nigerian Constitution. That if you defect where there is no trouble, no problem, you understand, there is no crisis in that state, and willingly you left defeated. You understand? It is the constitutional right that you should vacate both your seats. But in Nigeria, in Rivers State, the case is a different thing. Do you understand? But the other one who found minority, it should be majority now. I will say that the Victor should be, yes, that the other people who are parading themselves, the law say they have not vacated. The law, the court say they have not vacated. Then, if you have not vacated, are you for who?
I wonder.
Do you understand?
And they still tag themselves as pro-Wike people.
Pro-Wike people, which Wike we know is as a minister. The other one is the governor. Obviously. Who do you listen to? Do you understand? It's quite funny. So I want the federal government. The Tinubu is supposed to have spoken before now. Let the spade be spade. Call a spade a spade. Yes. So that the Wike and his lawmakers should actually
lay down to.
Yes. Or join hands to make Rivers State better. I always come from Chokochu. Before I will pass the one at Rokpoko, then the one at Room of Domania, this the Obiakpo own. They will make hell of it. Everywhere is jam-packed. But it's only not the police, because police is maybe they are sided. If not, they're supposed to have.
I'm telling you.
Yes, if police is not sided, they're supposed to have the right thing to do. Do you understand? Not one who is supposed to, by the law, ought to have the day than because of the money or the minister or who is interested is the problem. Right. So God bless you.
All right, sir. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, fine morning, my big brother.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, now quickly, I would like your thoughts on the Punch. A very interesting story says, Defection, court hears suit against pro-Wike lawmakers, August 21st. What's your take on this fight that's currently going on between our lawmakers in Rivers State?
Well, my big brother, first of all, let me say, based on the issue at hand, we know in the law court there's a term. Obviously, the lawyers, the court used to say, let the status quo remain. And here in Rivers State, based on the crisis in the House of Assembly, we know that since the former former house led by the other one who is now the chief of staff. He pronounced the seats of these 25 or so vacant. Yeah. And like we know, up till now, there's not been any law courts that have said no, that their seats are not
actually
vacant. So right now, for me, I still see them as not lawmakers,
obviously.
Until that's what do they call it? What that man
actually
said.
Can actually be reproven according to the
vacated by any law,
obviously,
or court. So for now, for me, I think they are, yes, totally. Totally.
So it is actually wrong for them to even pass a verdict to the governor.
For me, if it were where there is law, where there is law and order, I think by now those guys should be facing
a lot of trials.
Yes, because they are not law
abiding.
Yes.
In as much as they are lawmakers.
Yes.
It's quite funny.
No, they are no longer. They are no longer members. Members of that house until a law court pronounce them that they are still members of the house.
So so
for now, they do not have any legal rights to tell the governor that he doesn't have right, or he should not touch the funds belonging to the state. So like I said, if it is where the law is really really working. Those guys, 27 of them all, so they should be arrested.
Okay. All right, sir. And now, quickly, I also like your thoughts. As a patriotic Nigerian, there is this headline that says Tinubu 6 trillion as 2024 budget hits 34.9. Now, let's just take it as the angle of this administration. Don't you think we have had a lot of seeking for millions over time?
The first thing, if I should ask, the previous ones,
exactly
what has been done?
Okay, exactly. That's a huge question.
What we see is hardship.
Obviously.
What we see is a cup of beans being sold for 500 naira. What we see is the dollar rising, petrol on the increase, transportation
on the increase,
on the high. Someone who is earning as low as 40,000 naira per month, you are dead.
I'm telling you.
In this country. Okay. So seeking for this, the question is, what will it be used for? Is it for us, the masses, or for them to fund their flight ticket, their medical bills elsewhere? So I think that seeking for this, yes, it is not bad to seek for funds, but only if that fund should be
put to use
in use for the masses. For the masses, not just for them.
Because this is democracy.
Yes.
For the people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, sir. Now, lastly, what's your prayer for Nigeria?
My prayer. I know that my prayer is your prayer.
Obviously.
My prayer is the prayer of every law-abiding Nigeria. My prayer is for this country. Is for God to please have mercy on us and send us the leaders that have the people in mind. Leaders that will come and say, no, looting should hold on. Let me do work for my people. That's my prayer.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Grateful. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Now, quickly, as a Nigerian, I'd like your thoughts on the punch that says Defection. Court hears suit against Pro-Wike lawmakers come August 21st. Now, I would like you to pick it from this angle. The current lawmakers crisis that have been going on in Rivers State, do you think it's actually healthy?
No, it's not healthy.
Okay. What's your take?
It's not healthy. The 25 lawmaker led by Martins Amewule, I think court have not stopped them.
Okay.
Court have not stopped them. They have not sacked Martins Amewule as the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly. Okay. So I think they are still legitimate members of Rivers State House of Assembly.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they are still legitimate members of the House because court has not stopped
giving them
the right to say, okay, Martins Amewule, you are no more the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly. So court is the last hope of a common man. Okay. And then we cannot fight the law. The law is stated there. That if the court said that these people are no longer members of Rivers State House of Assembly, fine, we understand legally they are not members again. Okay. But as I'm talking to you now, no competent jurisdiction on that. That Martins Amewule is no more the Speaker of Rivers State Assembly. So my take on that is that the court in their own decision and wise decision, they should see what they do to stop Rivers State crisis. Because I know that the major crisis happening in Rivers State today is the Rivers State House of Assembly crisis. How can you say Oko Jumbo is the Rivers State House of Assembly? It's impossible. It's impossible. How many are they? We have about 32 lawmakers in Rivers State here, and then you just have 5 people or 4 people who are making decision for the it's uncalled for. We cannot accept it. We will accept that. We have 25 all over 4. You should know that we are in the democratic government. Okay. We are in democratic government. It's not proper at all. So Martins Amewule is the authentic and legal Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly. Okay. You cannot talk about 4 people. 4 people, only 4 make a decision. And then he says he's a speaker. No. I won't accept that.
At this point, Victor Jumbo said that it is actually illegal for Martins Amewule and other House members to even gather, talk less of making decisions, that as long as they defected to other parties, that their seat to remain vacant according to the constitution. Do you think that's actually that's not the truth?
Such statement coming from Okojombo, I think is barbaric. It's a jamboree. I think, and then in nutshell, I would say it's an academic exercise. So Okojombo don't have that legal right to declare Martin Samewule illegal. Martin Samewule led the House of Assembly members illegal. He don't have that right. So I will advise him to apologize to Martin Samewule in the next 48 hours. He should apologize to him because it's uncalled for an individual. Someone who, in fact, what happened to Ehedisi? Ehedisi was a fashionable speaker. A fashionable speaker. Yes, and then what happened to him today? He's no longer the speaker. He has resigned, and no rerun or no any election or by-election that has been conducted in his own constituency to fill the vacancy of his position he left.
Which is very wrong.
Which is very wrong because he knew that it will not stand. How can the minority be having a say over the majority?
Obviously.
It's impossible. This is Nigeria.
Obviously.
And we are in a democratic government. Yeah. So I fought that decision. That decision is not that. That decision will stand. Okojombo should, as a matter of urgency, apologize to Martin Samewule led House of Assembly members and also apologize to River State people for such a ridiculous statement. There was a time 25 lawmakers gathered for a meeting that they hold the APC flag. They tagged it that they have defected. And Newsweek told them that he's not aware of the defection. And then he's not aware of the defection. So anybody saying that he's part of that, I don't think the person knows what he's saying. So Newsweek is a peaceful loving man, and he is a man who stands and makes peace. Just talk about similar Fubara. He has never contested election before. We know that. It was Newsweek that brought him from nowhere. In fact, the best candidate as of 2023 election was the former Rwanda chairman, Brother Felix Obua. So he was Rivers' choice.
Best choice.
But because PDP did not do their thing normally, they brought in similar Joseph Obara to become the governor of Rivers State. Yes, we get one. He sponsored his campaign.
We're all here to see.
So you can imagine. You can imagine such a man that helped you, and it is not enough to 1 year. You start fighting the same man that helped you. That is sign of ingrate. And you know one thing about ungrateful people, they see everything as an error, and they are not appreciable. They can't appreciate anything at all. So Governor Simila Efubara is an ingrate. I will say that because he did not appreciate the effort shown to him through the FCT minister, Chief Barrister Ezewike, POS of Africa. So it's a kudos to him because he has made somebody to governor. Something that the past governor of Rivers State, Right Honorable Chibike Amechi, could not do. He brought Akuku Bitasai 2015, it didn't work. 2019, he brought Toye Cole, it did not work. That same 2023, he brought another person again. That is still Toye Priestway, Toye Cole, it did not work. But Yeshowike 2023, he brought Fan, the man of the people. And then he brought only similar Fubara, and he won. So, as a man, what you need to do is to appreciate him and not fighting him. You don't need to fight him. Even if he say what is not right, what you do, since you know he's your father, you meet him privately. It's not you dining and whining with his enemy. It's not good. I'm not telling you that your enemy should be my enemy. But you know that the enemy of your father is still your enemy. So if you see it in that angle, there is no need of you dining and whining with the enemies of your father. And anybody who dine and whine with the enemies of his father is an ingrate. So we don't have anything to say about that. So that is just it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, quite an interesting reactions here from Nigerians regarding headlines that are making rounds. Remember, you also can be part of this show. You have to follow us up on all our social media handles so that each time we drop reactions of Nigerians, just like what you have seen today, you also can be part of it. My name is Ayo Keme, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAF TV. Do well to take care of yourself.